And we've now come to the second half of our video, which is going to be our top 5 picks for the DC Universe villains, that are movies now. You already know what's going on, so I don't need to stumble over words.
And this basically means that we can only choose Batman, Superman villains, or Mark Strong.
Yeah.
So, there's not going to be a whole lot of variety here, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not
I suppose we could choose whoever the villain was for Steel.
Yeah, or even if you want to count...
Steel was the villain in that movie, right?
You can't even leave the Superman franchise with that pick, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Damn it!
And you can't use like the Constantine movie or the Jonah Hex movies or shit like that because it's not interesting villains.
I mean, Malkovich was fun in Jonah Hex, but Malkovich is always kind of fun.
Yeah. Also, we have a special guest with us for this half.
Who's that? Who could it be? Where is he? I don't know where he is. Apparently, it's Judd Nelson from Steel.
we actually. Hi, Coolio, you're here now.
I'm here. Nemesis Days was gonna make an appearance, but he's a little tied up at the moment. So writing some schemes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure that won't anything. I think the plays like hell.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah. So.
Dan, are you okay, Dan?
I think so.
Okay, we're all good.
Yeah. So Coolio or Nemesis, pick your poison, is going to be here as a extra hand. He doesn't have a list because he's already done one. Go check out the video; it's amazing. I guess we'll go with our original list, our original pathway. And my number 5 for movie castings for DC villains was pretty much, actually, I'm going to say Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
You me. That's my number 5 too.
Jim Carrey, I mean, he doesn't play... He's obviously channeling more of the Adam West era Riddler than the comic book.
Yes.
And that's not a bad thing, actually. Because I think he has enough energy to play with it, to play with that character. And, truth be told, the only drawback I have for it is that I wish he just stuck with the original costume he showed. You know when he became the Riddler and walked into Two-Face's lair that he magically found? I wish he just kept that costume, rather than switching between all these skin-tight outfits.
Yeah, I'm okay with the coat that lights up that makes it look like he's supposed to be a game show.
Yeah,
it helps him keeps him safe while jogging at night.
I just think Carrey's a really charismatic guy, and to play the Riddler, I think that's something that, especially the Gorshin version, you don't necessarily need to be charismatic to play like the Riddler that's, for example, being written in the comics by Snyder right now, the one that's like meticulous and planning and sort of antisocial. Obviously, someone like that isn't going to be charismatic naturally, but like the Gorshin one that's like high energy and goofy, I think you need a charismatic person to pull that off because like, if anyone else were to do it, it would just come off as like them trying too hard or it being kind of cheesy. But Carrey sells it with an authenticity that makes it work really well.
Yeah, and there are points where he's kind of scary.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like in that scene where he's like, "If knowledge is power, then I'm God."
And that's the thing with Gorshin's performance too that I think mirrors it so well. Like Gorshin's performance always had a little bit more menace to it than I think the other villains in that show, personally. Like, I thought Gorshin could have played, like, a serious version of the Riddler if he was given different material. And it's the same thing with Carrey. Like, you could see, like, him playing a more menacing version of the character because there's shades of it in his performance. It's just the material he's given. Not that the material is necessarily bad. It's just, I can definitely see what you see in the performance there. I agree.
Yeah. Were you trying to say something, Coolio?
I just said Jim Carrey. No, I mean, I already said all my Jim Carrey stuff on the original video. He's great.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. Like and even I'm not the biggest fan of the Riddler. And a lot of people slam me. It's just my personal thing. I just haven't read anything with the Riddler in comics that have made me like, oh my god, this is like a great Riddler story.
I slam thee.
Thank you, Dan. If you haven't, for those who don't know, Dan's favorite Batman villain is the Riddler.
Yeah, I love the Riddler.
But
And wasn't it? I think you told me that the movie as a child, like Jim Carrey's Riddler, helped you kind of get the Riddler to be your favorite.
Yeah, that and the animated series episodes that he was in really fascinated me. And I've always been a Jim Carrey fan ever since I was a kid, so I think that helped, make me like the Riddler a lot.
Yeah, same for me. So that's really. I think anything else you want to say, Dan?
I don't think so.
Right.
I don't know. I just really like the performance in that movie. Batman Forever is my favorite movie of the original series of Batman films, after the Adam West film anyway. So
Yeah.
I figured that's where I'd go for original Batman votes.
Yeah, that Batman Forever, same here. So, Duke, what is your number 5 pick?
Nuclear Man!
Yay!
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
I love him, but I don't love him enough to put him in my top 5. I gotta say Bane from that one movie that people totally love. Again, I swear to God, this phrase has to be said every time this is brought up, but let's put what you think about Rises aside, because I'm sick and tired of that discussion. Bane is I just love Bane. I love to make fun of him, but I love to make fun of him because I love him. I think he's one of the best parts of that movie. He's intimidating. He has a presence. Every time he's on... Yes. Yes, his presence are your life ends. That's his presence.
Aww.
No, every time he's on screen, shit gets real. And everyone knows it. He just has this intimidation to him. Granted, by the end, he sort of becomes Talia's pet. Ruff, Talia.
I get to hump your leg later.
That lucky bastard. And yeah, he does sort of, kind of get... He does become sort of a pet, and also he kind of gets his badassery taken away from him by breaking one of the tubes on his mask. Oh God, I'm dying! But I still think he was like, I was born in the dark, and he's just awesome all the way through until the end.
Yeah.
Where he's like, yeah, you get to witness his destiny after all. God, I've been shot.
Yeah. I got a confession. I don't have Bane on my list, but I'm glad you brought him up. And here's something I want to bring up about Tom Hardy's performance as Bane. He manages to articulate everything through his eyes.
Which he has to, but exactly.
Yeah. Like, you can just tell, like, just when he's sitting down in that plane, you obviously know he's thinking of something.
Yeah, his eyes are beautiful.
They are beautiful.
I want to get something out of the way.
What you say?
Before we move on.
Bring me down. Sorry.
No, please. That was awesome.
I have a whole album of him singing early 2000 pop hits. It's going to be great.
Oh, thank God.
I just want to say I didn't put Heath Ledger Joker on my list just because I thought that would be like, a wasted spot at number 1. Like, oh yeah, that's obviously what it is. So I put him at like 0, as in like, he is the best, but I'm talking other than him.
Yeah.
Cop out.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, Tom Hardy's Bane is really good. It's a lot better than BOOM!
I'm not copping out, Coolio. I'm just saying it's more interesting to talk about other performances, than beating the same dead horse over and over again.
To be fair, Tyler, my performance of Bane is better than Bob.
Yeah.
And all my performances is I just made him sing Christina Aguilera. So.
Beautiful.
So, anything else you want to add, Duke?
Well, all I have to add is that I'm done with this part of the video with no survivors.
Impossible. We're all still here.
We're all still here. No, I didn't say who didn't survive.
You said no survivors.
Didn't mean us. I mean, there could have been someone else in a different room that didn't survive.
We're just not watching Survivor anymore.
Oh, you mean like everyone in the world? Which makes no sense because it's been on for over a decade. But still, continue.
So I guess, Dan, what is your number 4?
Shouldn't it be your number 4 first?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would, because we've already talked about...
Because you two who talked about...
No, yeah, you're right. Brain fart, my bad.
No, it's all good.
My number 4 is actually, believe it or not, it is actually Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul.
I'll pick.
Did anyone else have that pick?
I didn't. I wasn't even thinking about him, but, he's good. I love Liam Neeson in anything he's in.
Yeah. A lot like how Kirk said about this is the thing that got me into really liking Liam Neeson as an actor. He plays a very come what may kind of character. Is that he plays a very driven Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul or however you want to say it. He plays this very soft-spoken character, and he plays a very close ally to Bruce. But when you find out his true intentions, that's when he's like, it's on. He is obviously Bruce's equal. And it shows through his acting skills that you could believe, and you could honestly, if you were in that universe, you'd probably join him just by listening to him talk. He's that convincing as a character. And that's just another credit to Neeson himself. He can play. It's kind of, I wouldn't say sympathetic, but more like manipulative. There's the word. So, in that regard, he portrays it very well. The problem is, again, Shades brought this up, is that you don't see a lot of him, but you obviously see his actions playing through the film.
His presence hangs over that entire movie.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing, like, it threw me for a loop when he comes back. You gotta understand, when I saw this in theaters, as a kid, I had no clue who Ra's al Ghul was, and that I thought he was just gone. I thought that was the end of his film, the end of the thing, and I didn't know he was coming back, so I was like, oh, and I was about, 12 when I saw this film? So I was literally like, oh my god, he's still alive, and he's a bad guy. Oh my god.
I think that was the great thing about Batman Begins for a lot of people that aren't comic book fans, is going in and getting to see villains that they hadn't seen on the screen before and being surprised like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batman Begins is great.
Yeah.
We should all watch it after this.
Okay.
After these messages from our
After these messages. So, my number 4?
Yes.
Some little-known character. I believe he played the Jokester. I know the guy better from A Knight's Tale. I like that movie more. No, that's true, but still. Yeah, Heath Ledger's Joker. Short and simple. Intimidating. There's a good reason why when everyone thinks of the Joker, they think him. Well, part of that has to do with the fact that they're just giant bandwagoners, and this is the newest movie that stars him. But still, he's great in this performance. I am one of those people who just think that this. I don't know for sure if his death was probably the big push that got the Oscar, the Oscar in the end. I'm not sure if they would have just ignored it because it's a comic book movie again. But
I really think they would have ignored it because of the movie, which kind of sucks.
I don't know how excited we all be if that, but I still think that it's a damn good performance.
Oh yeah, that doesn't take anything away from how great the performance was. I agree.
Yeah.
But you don't need Oscar recognition to be a good actor.
Good, because none of my favorite movies will ever be recognized as Oscar winners.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, short and sweet. He's good, but the three I have after him I like a lot more for personal reasons, and none of them will surely ever be. They'll never retroactively give any of these people Oscars. A, I don't think they could do that. B, if they could, I doubt they would still do it.
Yeah. So, anything else?
No, I don't even feel like quoting him in a funny way.
Alright. So, Dan, what is yours? What is your number 4?
My number 4 is Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Tom Hardy, his performance in that movie. I was just really impressed with Tom Hardy's ability, like Duke had said when he was talking about it before, the ability to act with his eyes. I think it was either Duke or Tyler that brought that up, and you guys were both talking about it a little bit, and I think that's the best part of the performance, really, is that he's able to convey so much emotion with his eyes alone. He's not able to use his mouth and all of that sort of, like, most of his face to convey emotion. It's a testament to his acting ability. He's a really talented guy. He got into shape. He's huge. He's intimidating.
He has giant tan lines on his face after this.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Have you ever seen those pictures of his tan lines? They're hilarious.
That does sound really funny.
I'll find it while we're talking.
So I'm looking now. I'm like the oracle of the group right now.
Woo! I think I already found it.
Yeah, I found it. He's beautiful.
Yeah.
Bane is just an awesome presence in that movie. I pretty much agree with everything Duke said, and he rocks that jacket really well.
Yeah.
True.
Alone.
I generally like, I don't know, I have this thing for jackets, but that is a sweet ass jacket, and he wears it.
Yeah, he does. See, I didn't even know I liked Bane all that much before I watched this movie, and now, I really, really like Bane. Like, he gets me excited when he shows up.
Yeah. And again, it's...
Logan comments and says, you need to all read more comics.
And again, what we were talking about earlier, like making fun of the voice, that's just... It just shows that we have a lot of fun with the character, and we think it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the voice is goofy, but it's a lot of fun. Because,
It's
like...
necessarily goofy.
It is, really, because it's sort of the only levity that works in that movie. You know, like, that's a real depressing movie for a good amount of it, and you have, like, the little jokes where Batman's like, so that's what that feels like. They kind of, like, fall flat and things like that for me, anyway. So it's nice to have something, at least, to, have a little bit of fun with, so, because Bane's just so over the top that it's awesome.
Okay, Dan, would that scene be better if it happened like how Shay did it, where he keeps looking back and Catwoman's still there?
Yeah.
I sold these packets.
She's almost like fed up with his random goofness. Hey, Dan, you should quit looking over there.
I have ADHD.
I got a lot of brain damage doing this job.
Helicopter.
What are all the bright lights doing?
Pretty.
Stars.
Thank you, Coolio.
Well, I didn't say that one, but yeah.
No, you said the one where the helicopter's doing.
Numero tres.
Yeah, numero tres for me. My number 3 is actually, I've got to say Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor.
Nice.
Yay!
Ooh.
Hackman is one of the best things about... Well, him and Christopher Reeve are the best things about... Actually, I take it back. The cast is really solid in the Richard Donner Superman films. Those only 2 films that I care about and should be acknowledged as such. The thing with these with Gene Hackman's performance is that he can play fun and then be kind of scary at the same time. Like, he knows he's obvious evil. He knows what he's doing is wrong and he doesn't care. And and he's obviously having fun with this role in both movies. And he's so quotable about wanting more land.
Australia.
And that set the precedence for every Lex Luthor appearance in movies ever since then.
Yeah, and you could argue that that was also the thing in the comics, because at the time in the comics, if I have my continuity right, at the time he was still kind of treated as the mad scientist type character, but after this movie, it was like, you know what? Let's make him a billionaire asshole. So, again, I mean, what more can you say about this great performance of this actor who he's clearly he can be a bastard but be fun at the same time. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it needs to be said though, because I think a lot of people now that they're so used to modern Lex Luthor, they don't appreciate Hackman as much as they should.
Yeah,
he's wonderful.
He's
your own pal Lex.
He's one of the greatest criminal minds of our time. Come on.
Okay.
So that's my. So that is my number 3. Yeah. So what is your number 2? Number 3. I mean, Duke.
Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
Yay!
I love getting that stamp of approval from Dan.
Yay!
Again, short and sweet. He's a lot of fun, but there's also those moments where he does come off as scary. I think this is just thought of as another one of those comedy roles that he did back in the 90s where he ruled the world with a Jim Carrey-shaped fist. But whatever the hell that image would be, I'm sure the Mask could recreate that. And
it's just in the shape of Ace Ventura bent over.
Exactly. It's just a lot of fun. I'm trying. I think we quoted all the best parts. Like, does anyone feel like a Friday?
Oh, by the way, Duke, I think I found the war chant of the Jim Carrey army. Alrighty, alrighty.
Alrighty, exactly. And then they ended with a then. Anyway, but yeah, I just like him. I'll admit, and you could just almost, you can kind of say this about the movie that came after this. It seems like that was the moment where things got really ridiculous with his suit and his stupid Riddler mask that's painted on with glitter and a little dot on his cheek.
Damn straight.
I wasn't a huge fan of that, personally.
You sunk my battleship!
He's beautiful. He's like a modern pop star.
That's when it got a little too Schumacher-y for me. A little too much Schumacher.
It seems like if he, imagine if that costume didn't appear in Forever, but Riddler came back in Batman or Robin, he would look like that for a few times.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah. He's just fun. And I think, even though the Two-Face in that movie was really, really bad, I think he worked out fine. I think if he played it like regular Two-Face, it would still work.
Yeah, I agree.
Because because he's just acting like straight man Two-Face is there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Two-Face was written to be the straight man, so that, like, Jim Carrey would have, like, because you always need that in a comedic duo, is the straight guy and the one that's kind of off the wall and goofy, but
then Tommy Lee Jones said, well, this is a comic movie, so clearly I have to protect Jim Carrey.
Right, exactly.
So, you actually have something there. I never thought of it at all like that. It was probably written to be that way. Carrey plays it that way. Jones is in a completely different universe, but yeah, that's my number 3.
My number 3 is Terrence Stamp as General Zod from Superman 2.
Awesome.
And the reason I like General Zod so much is because he's so much fun, because he's so over the top, but, like, he plays it so straight, and his conviction in playing the scenes so straight-laced in such ridiculous situations, and, like, the lengths he goes to things are so ridiculous that I just love him for it. And that's why it's sort of like how Loki can be really over the top in his arrogance sometimes, and you just love him because it's like, oh, this guy's really charismatic. General Zod has the same sort of thing for me. They
both have control over this persona.
Exactly. And they're the guys that feel like they have absolute utter control about any situation they walk into, no matter what room they're in. You know, it's
They feel 100% like I don't regret what I'm doing whatsoever.
exactly, and that's what I think is so much fun about General Zod and Terrence Stamp's performance. I can't say enough good things about it. I did like the guy in Man of Steel actually quite a bit. I thought he was good, but I don't think anyone will ever eclipse Terrence Stamp as General Zod for me personally.
Yeah, I'm glad you
It's
brought
my
up.
stamp
I
of
think it's
approval.
Yeah, I think as like just playing straightforward, I want to conquer the Earth General Zod. I think Michael Shannon did a great job.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah.
He played it seriously, and he still played, like, I'm doing this to save our people and all that.
Yeah.
But here,
He gave Zod a survivalist persona.
yes, but here I think, and I will agree, because one big criticism Cap gives about Man of Steel is it doesn't feel like the movie can take a chance to do, of Man of Steel. He's playing, like, to everyone. Stamp, I mean, he's playing to an all-ages audience.
Exactly. I don't think Terrence
Stamp's
Stamp's...
kids, but he's not playing too silly for the adults.
Right, exactly. I don't think Terrence Stamp's General Zod would exist in a contemporary superhero movie. I think they take at least in the DC ones, I think they're taking themselves a little too seriously for anything like that to be in the films.
Poop.
Yeah.
Not good.
But
Yeah. I'm glad you had.
anyway, I like General Zod. He's awesome.
Yeah. I'm glad you
It's
had
like I.
it. He got the Terrence stamp of approval.
Yes.
Yeah.
So also, I'm glad you put him on your list. I didn't have him on mine.
He's on mine.
So
Oh boy, is he on mine.
my number 2 is actually Heath Ledger's Joker.
Never heard of him.
It's really hard not to put him on this list, even, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm on the bandwagon or anything. It's just he does such a damn good role. He does, honest to God, a great Joker. That that Ledger shows his just acting career, and it's still kind of hilarious. You know, he shows also to everyone, it's like, oh, Heath Ledger can't be the Joker. Oh, yes, I can.
Just like that.
It's interesting how Ledger was able to, like, make me see everything that I love about comic book Joker in his performance, but also be completely different from anything I'd seen before as the Joker.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah, he pretty much plays again, like I said in the Marvel movies, he plays Joker like how Defoe played Green Goblin. Like one minute he can be he pretty much plays like a slasher in a horror film.
He's unpredictable. You're just not sure what he's going to do in every scene that he's in, and that's totally the feeling you want to have from the Joker.
Yeah, like that moment when he has Spawn, Michael J. White, in with the blade in his mouth, and he's talking about, you know, the obvious "why so serious" line in the theater. When I first saw that,
Tiger and Arrow, you hear me?
so you're gonna play Bronze Tiger in Arrow.
See, when he said they were having tryouts, that's what they were trying out for.
That's the audition.
That would be great. It just cuts to the next scene. We're gonna have tryouts, and it just shows people lined up to an audition.
Yeah. So
I'm here to read for this part. A guy in cloud makeup told me to.
I'm good with calculations, so I think I should be an Arrow. Okay.
that even makes that even better. Anyway, again, when I first saw The Dark Knight in theaters, I literally was scared watching that scene, that initial scene of him and that scene between him and Michael J. White's character.
How could you not be?
Yeah, and again, he plays such an unpredictable character, and obviously, I prefer my Joker to be something more along the lines of Mark Hamill's type Joker. That's how I personally like my Joker. Is like he can be kind of pranky and whatnot, and have like weird gadgets and stuff, but still be unpredictable. But I don't mind when Joker can be scary. You know, when the Joker can be creepy and still hang on to that moniker that we know him for, and Ledger obviously has that. So, yeah, I could go on and on about Heath Ledger's Joker, but I think we all know, obviously. So that's my number 2. So
my number 2 is Mr. Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor.
Yay!
Like I keep saying, he's the greatest criminal mind of our time. Also, I regretted something that I'll make up now. We can't talk about the phone anymore. He started this company anyway. I was upset that I never made that joke. No. I'm speechless apparently. No. He's just fun. I think Hackman just got this version of the character down packed, where he's talking like he's a fast talker. He full of himself and just wants land. But I won't lie, he comes on. I think he comes on like a formidable opponent. Like he then you could see the intelligence come through him. Like you kind of do buy that he is the smartest guy here. He launched rockets as an oafish sidekick.
Yeah.
I would become president, and no, he doesn't become president of the Captain America movie when he shows up.
I like
So disguises.
what I liked about Hackman's Lex Luthor is like he was the smartest guy in the room, like you were saying, but in like the same way that Adam West Batman was the same guy in the room. Like he was smarter than everybody, but even if like somebody caught him in being dumb or like he didn't know something, he would pretend that he knew. You know?
He wants to keep that image up no matter what.
That's what's so hilarious about it.
He has some of the I love him in Superman 2 as well. And I think part of it does come from the fact that one of our best friends is from a certain country. But every time he says Australia, I love that line. It's like, he wants our French homeland.
No, not pop culture diva.
You got me there.
Oh, Romania is doomed.
Oh no.
Damn it, Lex. We were so close.
Damn it, Lex. Not her. We all like her a lot.
We all like Deanna.
Deanna's great.
Where's Kirk?
Sorry, Kirk. I don't want to make you feel bad.
I'm now kind of imagining like what Gene Hackman's Luthor would do to Kirk, like make him run in a hamster wheel for no damn reason.
You, errand boy, come here. Make me another one of those funny videos.
Okay. Come on, sis! Good job.
Make your Godzilla noise.
You're going to be the new. I'm going to call you Otis too.
But you're totally, you don't like that noise. You hate That's learning, but that's for another day.
Any last thoughts about Hackman?
No, I got nothing.
Alright. My number 2 is Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face from The Dark Knight.
Ooh.
And I am a big Two-Face fan. Batman Forever, as you can tell, was my favorite Batman movie as a child. Also, because it had my favorite villains in it. I really like Two-Face as a villain, just because I always liked his backstory of him being like a sympathetic, crusader of justice, trying to work within the system, unlike Batman, and he eventually gets corrupted by it and loses faith in it. I think that's a really interesting avenue to take for a character, and that's what we got with Eckhart's performance. So I was really pleased with that. I think he played it really well. Like you could see in the scenes, especially when like Rachel would get threatened by anybody, or if there was like innocent life put in danger, you could see that he would get really angry and almost lose control. He would hold back, but just barely every time. So you could see that like rage bubbling under the surface from him. And when he becomes Two-Face, it's a really believable transformation. He sold it really well. So yeah, I think those are the important things you need to have a good Two-Face performance, and he had all of them down pretty well. Not even pretty well, extremely well, I'd say. So He gets a little underbilled, I think, because Heath Ledger was just simply so good in the movie, and Two-Face is like the minor villain of the two. But I think Eckhart did just as good of a job,
Yeah.
I'd say.
And I love how they built up.
I love that card in
You
that
say
film.
that about everybody in that movie when it comes to Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
Even Morgan Freeman, sadly.
Yeah, and he's great in everything he's in. I
Yeah.
agree. So.
I actually love how he's built up. Like, you don't see it. They don't play. They really kept that he was going to be Two-Face really under wraps until you saw the film. And I love when they finally get that scene of, oh shit.
If you're a comic book fan, you obviously know, and there's a lot of foreshadowing, and like, you know, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. That's like an obvious, like, look, this guy's gonna be Two-Face if you know the source material. But
Yeah.
for people that didn't know, that must have been awesome.
Yeah. And again, you feel really bad for Harvey. And it's very much like it's very much like the Long Halloween version of how they did Harvey Dent's origin.
Oh yeah, definitely, and like the animated series too. That's what I always point to. Those two things: the Long Halloween and the animated series episodes with Two-Face, where they do his origin. Those are the things that made me a fan of that character so much.
Yeah. So anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. Other than I really liked the way they did his face in that movie too. It looked really good.
Yeah. Again, glad you put him on your list because I didn't have him on mine. So now moving on to my number one.
I never know why I didn't think of him.
Yeah. So my number one is again another character we've seen in Superman films, and that is Kevin Spacey.
Oh fuck yeah, that's mine too.
So this is your number one as well?
Yes, it is.
Kevin Spacey's Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor from Superman Returns. He is so great in this film. He takes what Hackman did in the first films and enhances it, and he brings his own originality to the table as well with it, which I really like about Spacey's performance as Luthor. Brandon Routh is good
Yeah,
too.
Kevin Spacey is always.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dan.
Well,
Yeah, I'm here.
I think we're losing Duke. It's delayed.
Duke is gone.
Yeah. Oh, so technical difficulties, everyone.
Anyways, Lex Luthor is
I'm sorry I interrupted you before, Tyler. I thought you were done talking, and then there was a delay, and then you can continue to talk, and it was really all jumbled, and I was like, oh, I must have interrupted him in the middle of a really complex thought. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But like I was saying, yeah, that like I said earlier, he brings what Hackman did and then adds his own thing to it and makes this Luthor even darker. And again, Brandon Routh is really good in here, but I think Spacey steals the show.
I am a liar.
We got Duke. We got Duke back. So, anything you want to add to that, by the way, Dan?
Yeah, I'm a really big Kevin Spacey fan in general. Just because in every role that he plays, he always brings this really intimidating presence to whatever he's playing. Like even in that comedy he was in recently, Horrible Bosses, he's just extremely good at playing an arrogant bastard.
Yeah.
And he can ham that up and make it really over the top, or he can refine it and make it really scary. And that's the sort of range that you need to have to be an effective Lex Luthor, and he plays within that range pretty well in Superman Returns. I feel like if the material was better, he could have been the best thing since sliced bread. People would have been holding him up there with Ledger's Joker possibly as being one of the great villain performances on screen. I really think Spacey could have done something special with that if given better material. But with what he was given, I think he did the best job he possibly could.
Yeah.
I was really pleased with his performance, and he's definitely makes that movie at least watchable for me. That's what I pop that movie to watch.
Yeah.
So
If he was given the stuff he's given in House of Cards, I think that's what have made him, on par with how people recognize Ledger's Joker.
yeah, I mean, like, I would have liked it to be a little bit more over the top if he's going to be Lex Luthor, but the same sort of, like, meticulous planning and devious evil stuff that goes on and he manipulates as a puppet master behind the scenes. Yeah, I agree. Just take away his southern accent and shave his head. You could have a President Luthor right there.
Yeah. So,
No, I think it'd be more entertaining if he had that accent.
hey y'all, I'm gonna kill
Hello,
Superman.
man. Exactly. That'd be great.
I'm gonna take this. Here kryptonite and make you squeal like a piggy.
Then we're gonna go to the farm. You know what farms are like, don't you? Anyway, so what are we doing now?
Number one.
Number one, yay! I like that number. It's a good number.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what is your
Must be
number?
number one, Duke.
Yeah. What is your number one?
Terrence Stamp is God.
Ooh.
Hey.
Good.
That.
Good.
That opinion.
Better opinion. I have a feeling Coolio would do horrible things to me if I didn't choose that. No. I like we said before, he just has this good. He has this sense of that he is better than us. He knows he's better than us. But I also love how he's fascinated by Earth when he first comes here. Like, what planet are we on? No, what is this place called? Houston. Houston. And then there's that bit from the Donner Cut too, where he takes the machine gun and he just sort of shoots people. He's like, this does nothing to me. But then, of course, the best bit in the entirety of either version of Superman 2, when he is looking at that piece of pie.
Of course.
There's just this bit where while Ursa's having the arm wrestling match, he's just looking at this slice of pie. not looking at it as food. He's just like looking at it with what interest.
What is this magic?
This magic. We don't have this. We don't have this on Krypton.
We don't even have Krypton anymore. Wow, this sounds great.
I bet this place is Krypton. But then, God damn it, I just, he has his bits. It's completely dry comedy, but he plays it well. I love it when he yells, "Yield me old sword!" Like, he's almost upset that no one's appreciating his awesomeness.
I know, I love it.
Everyone should love me!
Should.
Like, even like the pet speech he gives to Jor-El, that we constantly love to screw up with a certain word, he comes up like a big threat. Like, that is his equivalent of, I will find him. He's like, I will come after you. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to see him again. Like,
Yeah,
he
exactly.
regret ever wanting to see him ever again. Not in that same awkward party sense where this guy was just rude to you the entire time, but he will, like, destroy you with his Kryptonian whatever the hell he has.
I'm afraid of Kryptonian, whatever the hell he has.
We're going to use our plastic symbols that come out of our chest.
Oh no.
We're going to destroy all of Krypton.
Yeah, that'll stop you.
Slightly inconvenience all of you.
So much that you cannot stop us. Soon that slight inconvenience will become a moderate inconvenience. But that's it for me. I'm glad you all had fun. Also, because I meant to do this at the beginning of my pick, Nuclear Man!
Yeah. So that was our video. That was our video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys tell us what were your favorite top 5 favorite picks from Marvel and DC. And as always with these top 5 lists, this is just our personal opinion. We aren't saying that this is the definitive list. It's just all Coolio is. So blame him.
Yeah, my list is the definitive list. It's just not here.
Good thing you had Defoe Green Goblin as number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out am I? No, you're number one. Oh my god.
What? Number one, am I?
Yes, yes you are. You should be happy. Here's a trophy.
He was number one.
I can't wait for the part where we steal his drinking hat from him.
I can't. Yeah. He was. Remember, he was in Spider-Man number 18.
And also, Spider-Man the movie number 1.
Funny.
And
That we are, Dan. That we are.
I'm sorry. I'm just exhausted right now.
We don't blame you, sir.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's our video. Well, again, if you haven't subscribed to either Coolio Vids, Duke Loops 1993, or Tory GNR1, or if you've gone to Geekvolution, Dan's there more than his own channel, for justifiable reasons.
Yeah, I don't have time to edit shit. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I wish I did. But
No, we understand you are a busy man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't understand, Khalil, but we have a PowerPoint presentation. I can help you.
I don't know the meaning of the word.
You don't know the word? You don't know the meaning of the word PowerPoint? Well, that's easy to explain.
Well, the PowerPoint.
Explain. What's the spot?
Well, I'll explain later. Anyway.
We're done.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.